and thank you for joining my live, or thank you for watching this replay. I know that YouTube posts the replays of my lives. I am a veteran of TikTok. Over on TikTok, I did over 500 lives. So this is only my 20th YouTube live that I've done. I'm still getting used to doing my lives here on YouTube. I changed from TikTok because TikTok was going to be, or as of last month in September, they changed their rules for community guidelines violations. And I thought that they were too restricting. And in addition to that, they increased their price for subscribing. And so I did my very last TikTok live on Friday, August 29th. And the universe really put this into motion. It lined it all up. And I did my first YouTube live on Monday, September 1st. I just love the way that the universe put that all together. Uh, it says that I have one person on here. I don't know if that's you, Shells, but if it's not Shelster, not the Shelster, let me know how you learned that I was doing a live. Did you get a message, or were you just scrolling through YouTube and found me? So let me know how you learned that I was doing this live. Come on, give me some response. Let me know how you learned that I was doing this live. Did you get a message, or were you just scrolling through and found me? Okay, now I don't have, I'm just still trying to see. I do these lives not six, I used to do 6 days a week. When I was on TikTok, I did 6 days a week. But now I did Sunday through Friday. But now I do Monday through Friday. So at 4 a.m. Pacific time. And my lives are 90 minutes. And I share advice that will help y'all to undifficult your life. You see, I'm 81 years old. I live the advice that I share with y'all. I absolutely know that it works. I am sharing it with y'all because I want to help y'all to undifficult your life. A lot of y'all are making y'all's lives a lot more difficult than they have to be. And I'm asking y'all to share the live because I would love to be able to, hey, Honda Accord, I would love to be able to share this advice that I'm sharing with y'all with a whole lot more people. Now, I don't, when people put in comments that are 3 sentences or longer, I don't read them. Thanks, Shelster. Hi. I don't read them. I don't have time. I hope y'all understand that. I have a 90-minute live where I share advice about undifficulting your life. And you truly can live by the advice that I share. You can change your life for real. All it is about the way you look at things. And I'm going to give you a different way to look at things. 4 pillars. I'm going to tell you about those 4 pillars in a few seconds. So the advice that I share, like I said, I live it and I know that it works. I'm 81 years old and I have been living this advice since I was about 10 years old. The 4 pillars, I have so many tips to share with y'all, so I'm trying to get them in order so that it makes sense to y'all. It has to make sense to me first, so yes. So the 4 pillars, here are the 4 pillars that I share the advice on. Pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. And I tell you how you do that. Pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. If you are 10 years old or older, I tell you exactly how you do that. But I always start with the toddlers. If you're raising toddlers, you will want to hear how easy it is to teach them patience. Then pillar number 3 is stay calm. Stay calm. There is tremendous power, y'all, in your ability to stay calm. You lose that power. You lose your power when you become angry. So stay calm. Now, throughout my lives, I do what I call helpful hand visuals. And I call them that because one of my viewers in one of my TikTok lives this year, I've done over 500 TikTok lives. I love doing these lives. And one of my viewers, her name is Jessie Nutt, and she said, quote, "These visuals are so helpful," unquote. And she was referring to gestures that I do with my hands in combination with the words coming out of my mouth to communicate philosophies, thanks, Bree, examples, concepts, all kinds of words from my mind to y'all's mind. Now, I hope some of y'all are saying you have to see it to believe it, and some of y'all have already seen it. Spirit gives me these helpful hand visuals. Spirit gives them to me. And when I get to pillar number 3, when I did that, excuse me, that helpful hand visual for stay calm, it blew a lot of my viewers' minds. And I did it for my man. It blew his mind, and it blows my mind too. When Spirit gives me these helpful hand visuals, they blow my mind. And I'm talking about my man, so I want to tell y'all, me and my man, I remember I'm still on pillar number 3, okay? So I remember that. So me and my man have been together for 68 years. You heard that correctly. We have been together for 68 years. We just celebrated our 58th wedding anniversary on June 3rd. 58 years of marriage. So now we've been together for 68 years since we were both 13 years old. And I'm going to show y'all, his name is Pap, P-A-P. His real name is Fred. So like I said, we've been together for 68 years. It blows my mind too, y'all. I look at Pap and I say, oh my God, I've been with this man more than half of my life. Thank you. So now I'm going to show y'all a picture. This picture is, we were both 25 years old. This is 1969, 25 years old, 1969. Now the next picture, and the last one, excuse me, this one is our 57th wedding anniversary last year, 2024. And we were both 80 years old. 80 years old, y'all. 57th wedding anniversary. And then this is what I like to do to show the passage of time. 25 years old and 80 years old. I love these pictures. I have several of the passage of time, you know, so. Thank you. It blows my mind too, Greta and everybody else. It blows my mind. I don't take it for granted. It blows my mind. So, and I wrote a book. I'm an author as well. The name of the book is The Best Way to Keep a Man is to Let Him Go, among other things, okay? It's 64 pages. It's $9.99 at goodshortbooks.com. The link is in my profile, y'all. The books are flying off the shelves because people are coming onto my lives and they're learning about the books. There are, at goodshortbooks.com, there are 11 nonfiction books there. My sister wrote one and I wrote 10. I call us the senior sibling authors. Her name is Anita Jones and she's 76 years old. And I'm Joyce Fields and I'm 81 years old. Or 81 years wiser is what I was told recently. So I'll buy that too. But I'm proud that I'm 81 years old as well. Okay, that shows that I lived. So I'm wiser, yeah, but old, I'll accept that word. So this book, we have 3 price categories. Very affordable, y'all. $7.99, $9.99, and $12.99. So this book, like I told y'all, me and Pap have been together for 68 years. I was trying to say 69. Yeah. So, and 64 pages. The best way to keep a man is to let him go, among other things. And that includes 22 pages of my own recipes. And Pap says that he lives in a 5-star restaurant and that I am an incredible cook. So check it out, y'all. I start with desserts. Okay, now back to pillar number 3. I told y'all that Spirit gives me these helpful hand visuals. And when I get to pillar number 3, that helpful hand visual, when I did it for Pap, it blew his mind. And it blows a lot of my viewers of my lives, it blows their minds too. So I'm sure it will blow a lot of y'all's minds. So stay tuned to pillar number 3. Now, the last pillar is pillar number 4. Thanks, Lorraine. And that pillar is remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration, or whatever. And I'll tell you what those 4 words are. Yeah, I cook with love, for real. I'll tell you what those 4 words are when I get to the 4th pillar. Now, back to pillar number 1. Pillar number 1, develop and maintain a positive attitude. I'm going to repeat it. Develop and maintain a positive attitude. I don't know if you've ever really thought about it, if this is ever in the front of your mind. There are only 2 attitudes that you can have, just 2. Did you ever think about that? Only 2 attitudes that you can have. There is not a third one. A negative attitude or a positive attitude. That's it. A negative attitude or a positive attitude. And I am convinced that you do not choose to have a negative attitude. What happens is, if you don't choose to have a positive attitude, and a positive attitude is a definite choice that you must make. It doesn't just come and sit in your lap. You must deliberately choose to have a positive attitude. You must on purpose choose to have a positive attitude. If you don't choose to have a positive attitude, and it's a choice, like I said, you will almost certainly have a negative attitude. If you don't choose to have a positive attitude, you almost certainly will have a negative attitude. Because what I have observed, y'all, in my 81 years, is that a negative attitude is like a default. If you choose to have a positive attitude, then you cannot have a negative attitude. It's impossible. And I'm going to give y'all so much information, so much advice on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. For real, stay tuned. and share this live, because I would love to be able to share the advice that I share with y'all, with a whole lot more people. So I want y'all to share it. I love doing these lives. I do them Monday through Friday. I used to do them Sunday through Friday. But now I do, like, me and my sister, like I said, her name is Anita Jones. We're both retired executive assistants. So now I'm doing my lives according to the corporate America work week, Monday through Friday for most people. I worked Monday through Friday and never worked a Saturday unless it was overtime. So, but now I do corporate hours, Monday through Friday, or corporate calendar. Okay, so where was I? I was telling y'all. Okay, now the thing about it is the two attitudes that you can have. I told you, negative attitude or positive attitude. And I also explained why it is that I think that you don't choose to have a negative attitude. When you choose to have a positive attitude, and it's very simple to do, all you do is write a program. When you write a program, you say it out loud. Yes, you say it out loud. A lot of people say when you write a program or when you try to make some improvements in your own life, whatever, you say it in your mind. No, no, no. I say you say it out loud. When you say it only in your mind, that's one element. One element. When you say it out loud, you're involving three elements, y'all. Three elements. You speak it out of your mouth, you hear it with your ears, and it gets plastered into your psyche. You see? Three elements, y'all, as opposed to one. So always say your programs out loud. And I'm going to give you more examples throughout the live, okay? So here is what you say. You write this program and you say it out loud. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining, share the live, y'all, a positive attitude. I'm going to repeat the program. This is what you say out loud. And I don't care who's around you, because it gives you an opportunity to spread positivity. Here's what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. And put your feet on the path to have a positive attitude. And I'm going to give you a lot of tips on how you do that. Okay, stay tuned. So, a positive attitude opens portals. The universe is constantly showering us with positivity. I'm going to show you what a negative attitude looks like. I'm going to show you what a negative attitude looks like. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Here you go. Okay, now you see that? These are kind of people that say, woe is me, my life sucks. I can't stand this, I can't stand that. Complain, complain, complain. Now, in the meantime, this is a helpful hand visual that I'm doing right now, y'all. What I'm doing with my hands represents positive elements flying through the universe at all times. They are constantly flying through the universe, but they always, y'all, fly over the heads of people who have a negative attitude. Always. Now, when you write that program, when you say those words out loud, here's what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Here's what happens to you. You raise your frequency. On the count of 3, I'm going to show you. 1, 2, 3. You see how your frequency was raised? You had a negative attitude and everything was flying over your head. All the positive stuff was flying over your head. You raised your frequency when you said, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Share the live, y'all. I would love to be able to share this advice with a whole lot more people. So you raised your frequency when you said that. When you mean it from the bottom of your soul, bottom of your heart, out your entire being, you make that choice, y'all. And the program that you write, excuse me, from now on, what that means is just exactly this. From this point forward, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. I don't care what your attitude was like 5 minutes ago, what your attitude was like yesterday or last week. Doesn't matter because your program says from now on. You got it? So you can tell your people around you, your family, friends, all of that. Don't throw up what what my attitude was like yesterday or whatever. Don't throw that in my face. Because from now on, I'm going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. It's just that simple. Now, I'm going to read y'all a list of words that will help you to identify people in your life who probably have a negative attitude, and it might be you. But don't forget the program. It says, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. So it's a choice, and you can choose to write that program any minute of any day of your life. For real. It is a choice. It is a choice that you and only you make for yourself. Now, here are the words. These words are like personality traits or characteristics. And if any of these words fit your personality, don't forget, you have a choice. You can choose to develop and maintain a positive attitude, you see? So now here are the words: anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment and holding grudges, inferiority, lies and dishonesty, false pride, superiority, and the last word is ego. Come on, y'all, share the live. The four pillars that, I'm going to go back into the words, the four pillars that I share. Pillar number one, don't you think that if more people developed and maintained a positive attitude, the world would be a better place? Pillar number two, increase your level of patience. Don't you think that if more people increased their levels of patience, the world would be a better place? Pillar number three, stay calm. Don't you think that if more people stayed calm, the world would be a better place? And then pillar number four, I haven't gotten to telling y'all what those four words are, but believe me, the world would be a better place if more people remembered those four words. Okay, so now, where was I? I was talking about, oh yeah, the four words, not the four words, the words that'll help you identify people in your life who probably have a negative attitude, and it might be you. So I read the words. Now, the first word is anger. Anger, y'all. Do you know people who are full of anger? People who are angry? Are you the one who is full of anger, who is angry? That is negative. How about resentment and holding grudges? Do you know people who are full of resentment? People who hold grudges? Are you the one who is full of resentment? Are you the one who's holding grudges against others? That is negative, but I'm going to come back to that one. Lies and dishonesty. Do you know people who lie? People who are dishonest? Yeah, I know Honda Accord. I know. Maybe you're telling other people so, but that's good. Thank you. Yeah, are you the one who lies? Are you the one who is dishonest? That's negative too. Going back up to resentment and holding grudges. If you are full of resentment and if you hold grudges against other people, I'm going to tell you something that you probably never heard, and that is this: you are living in the past. Yes, you are living in the past because you are carrying something that happened past tense. There is nothing that the people who did that to you can do about it to change it. There is nothing that you can do about it to change it. You see? Nothing. You must forgive them. That is the only way for you to get on a healthy road. You must forgive them. And it doesn't matter who it was or what they did. You must forgive them because what you are doing is creating an invisible internal burden on your soul, on your spirit, on your cells, on your blood, on your organs. You see? That's what holding on to negativity and all of this ugly stuff, anger, resentment, grudges, lying, arrogance, regret, guilt. Those are all ugly things, negative things. When you hold on to them, they damage the person who holds on to them. It makes sense. I call them the uglies. So the uglies do damage to the person that carries them inside. That's what happens. So when you look around you, open your eyes, look around you, and most people who are full of resentment and holding grudges against other people, most of them, or I won't even say most, a lot of them are on pharmaceutical medications. They're not in good health. They are not aging well. They look older than they are. You see? That's what holding resentment inside of you and holding grudges inside of you will do to you, to the person who holds them. They're not doing anything. They're not punishing the people who you're holding the resentment towards or the grudges against. Nothing. They're not doing anything to them. It's damaging you, like I told you. It creates an internal, invisible burden on your cells, on your blood, on your organs, and it can put you into bad health, guaranteed. Okay? It can put you into bad health. So you must forgive, and it doesn't matter what it was or who did it. You must forgive. I don't deal with religion on my lives. No Jesus, no Bible, and no politics either. I don't deal with religion or politics. I have no use for either one of them. I talk to God all day long, and God ain't got no religion. You understand? So that's my choice. You got yours. That's fine. But don't bring that on my life. And I hope everybody heard me. No religion. I don't talk about Jesus or the Bible on my lives. And I don't talk about politics. None of that stuff either. So now, you must forgive them. Now, forgive doesn't mean you let them back into your life or you go back into theirs. So, but that's a good thing if all parties agree. Also, you forgive. Some people will tell you to forgive and forget. Hell no. Mm-mm. Hell no. You don't ever forget. You would be a fool to forget. So don't do that. Keep it on the back burner. Keep it on the stove, okay? That way you won't ever forget. But don't carry any resentment or anything because you are keeping it on the back burner. Just leave it there. But if, so if when that happened to you again, don't you ever forget it, okay? So now, but you must forgive them. Now, like I told y'all, I am 81 years old. When I was a kid, there was no such thing as text message, email, video call, no such thing. Y'all can use any of those technologies to forgive. You see? You can forgive through a text message or an email, whatever. But if you don't want to have anything else to do with them, not ever again in your life, all right, you can forgive them by saying it out loud to the universe. You heard me correctly. And I'm going to give you 4 examples of what has happened on my lives. Now, you can forgive by saying it out loud to the universe. The universe or God or whatever you call your higher power was there. It was there when the mess happened to you. You understand that? I don't know if you ever thought about that. And there are people who thought about it and who say who ask on my lives, they'll say, so why didn't God or the universe do something? I don't question God or the universe. So whatever, they had their reasons. Okay, so now, but the universe was there when the mess happened to you. It knows. All right? You can say it out loud to the universe. Now, I also add this piece in there when I say this. The universe or God or whatever you call your higher power sees everything you do right now, hears everything you say right now, and reads your thoughts right now. I'm going to repeat that. The universe or God or whatever you call your higher power sees everything that you do right now, hears everything that you say right now, and reads your thoughts right now. Now, when I say that, it really shakes a lot of my viewers. It shakes them up because I bring it to the forefront of their consciousness, you see? When I said that, now, when I just said that to y'all, I'm going to get back to how you forgive by saying it out loud to the universe. When I just said that to y'all, that the universe or God or whatever you call your higher power sees everything that you do right now, hears everything that you say right now, and reads your thoughts right now. Did that cause anybody to rethink what they're doing, saying, and thinking? Come on, give me some responses. Says I got 125 people on here, so come on, y'all, give me some responses and share the live, y'all, especially if you're getting something out of this advice that I would love for y'all to want to share this live so that more people will hear the advice. Oh, good. Yeah, see? I am amazed, y'all, at how many yeses I get. Wonderful. That is such a good thing. So, any more responses? When I said that the higher power, or whatever you call your higher power, sees everything you do right now, hears everything you say right now, and reads your thoughts right now? I get so many people that say yes, and they're going to change the way what they do, or they're going to consider. They're going to think about what they do, say, and think. Yes. So, now, here's the way you forgive, by saying it out loud to the universe. And I don't care who's around you. All your programs, you say them out loud. So, and if anybody is around you that knows about the mess that you're talking about forgiving, then they can help you to spread the word that you forgave the people. So now, no, you're going to be timed out or something. Don't talk about Jesus and the Bible. I don't do that on my lives. I don't believe in that or the politics. Okay, that's my belief. You entitled to yours. Don't bring that on my live. Okay, I'm going to keep saying it. I know I have to keep saying it because people are coming on and they don't know. But I will keep saying it. No religion, no politics. Neither one of them serves a useful purpose. So now, in my opinion, here's what you say out loud to the universe. Ready? Universe, I forgive so and so. That's okay, Lisa. For doing such and such to me. I'm going to repeat that. Universe, I forgive so and so for doing such and such to me. You say that out loud. You use your hand the way that I used mine. It is like it's a symbolism for touching the universe, touching spirit. I'm going to say it again. Universe, I forgive so and so. Thanks for the subscription for doing such and such to me. All right, so now I'm going to give y'all 4 examples of what has happened on my lives. Example number 1, young lady, she said, I forgave my dad like that, and I immediately burst into tears. Another young lady said, I forgave myself like that, and you can forgive yourself too. The universe saw what you did or said, or heard what you said, okay? So you can forgive yourself too. It knows what you did. And she said, I forgave myself like that, and I immediately burst into tears. The third one was a young man who said, I forgave, and I felt my spirit shift. Yes. The 2 that burst into tears, and even the one that felt, the young man that felt his spirit shift. The reason why, y'all, is because, like I said earlier, but some of y'all weren't on here, I understand that, but I go through the same 4 pillars every live that I do, but every live that I do is different. So now, the 2 that burst into tears, and really, like I said, the one that felt, the young man felt his spirit shift. This is the reason why, y'all. I said earlier, when you hold on to unforgiveness and when you hold grudges, they create an internal, invisible burden on your soul, on your spirit, on your blood, on your cells, on your organs. And they immediately bursted into tears or the young man felt his spirit shift, because when they forgave, it's like that burden, that invisible burden lifted. The Shelster calls it a pressure release valve. And when you forgive, what happens to the resentment and the grudges, they do like this. Psst. You see? They just vanish. That is why the 2 young ladies burst into tears immediately, and that's why the young man felt a shift in his spirit. You're going to feel something when you truly mean it and truly get on the road to having a positive attitude. And I'm also going to read y'all a list of words that will guide you on the road to having a positive attitude. So now, the 4th example is a young lady by the name of Patricia. She had been watching my lives, and she was holding a grudge against her mother for over 40 years. Whoa. Over 40 years, y'all, holding a grudge against her mother. No religion, no politics on my live, Mark. You will be handled accordingly. Um, Anybody that does that is going to be handled accordingly. Either you will be timed out, or you will be hidden, or you will be removed. And you really need this advice that I share will help everybody. Develop and maintain a positive attitude. That's the first pillar of the advice that I share. And I tell you how you do that. I already told you, and I'm going to keep telling you. So Patricia had been holding a grudge against her mother for over 40 years. She forgave her mother. Now that's 40 years, over 40 years worth of, over 40 years worth of Mother's Days and birthdays, but Mother's Days especially, that they had not spent together. This past Mother's Day, they spent it together. She came up as a guest on my TikTok live. I've done over 500 TikTok lives, y'all, and I love doing the TikTok lives. I love doing these YouTube lives because I get to share the advice that I have gained in my 81 years of living this life. So she came up as a guest and shared with us the fact that she had forgiven her mother and they spent Mother's Day together for the first time this year, the first time in over 40 years. And boy, I'll tell you, I got so full, y'all, when she was talking about that. And I didn't boo-hoo, but I got full, and it just warmed my heart to know that the advice that I shared brought her and her mother back together, and she forgave her mother. So it's a wonderful thing to forgive, y'all. So now, that's how you forgive, by saying it out loud to the universe. Maybe she will, maybe she won't, Vic. That's the chance you take. That's life. You can't just, you got to do it. So she did the right thing, and maybe she will regret it, maybe she won't regret it. That's what Vic said. So that's the chance you take. It's called life. And you hope for the best. And if you put your best foot forward, the universe or God or whatever you call your higher power will usually meet it halfway. You put your best foot forward. That's what I have found in living my 81 years, okay? For real. Now, that's about forgiving. Oh, I'm going to tell y'all I'm going to read y'all the list of words that will help you, will guide you onto being a person with a positive attitude. Here are the words: joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, empathy, generosity, truth and honesty, compassion, and the last word is faith. You see? So, you must forgive, but forgive does not mean you go back into their lives or you welcome them back into yours, but that's a beautiful thing if all parties agree. So you must forgive. Where am I going right now? Okay. Now, positive attitude, negative attitude. Nobody can have a positive attitude 100% of the time. Nobody can have a negative attitude 100% of the time. Okay? I'm going to ask you a question. You live your life by a ratio, because nobody can have a positive attitude 100% of the time, and nobody can have a negative attitude 100% of the time. You live your life by a ratio. I'm going to ask you this question. Did you know that you live your life by a ratio, ratio? Oh, wow. Thank you, Tim. Wow. I'm going to ask the question again. Did you know? And I only want no responses. Okay, thanks, Nellie. I only want no responses because people are here on my live and they have been on my lives before and I've told them what the ratio is. So if you are one of those, sit back and relax and smile because you already know the answer. I'm only looking for responses that say no. The question is, did you know that you live your life by a ratio? ratio. I'm going to explain what a ratio is. I want to thoroughly explain it. Come on, I'm looking for responses. I want to know if you knew that you live your life by a ratio. Come on. Thanks, Nellie. Come on. Give me some responses, y'all. Be quick with y'all. Thank you, Daga. Ah, okay. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, wonderful. Thanks, Lucinda. Donna, thank you. Kazzy, thank you. Rochelle, thank you. Here is what a ratio is. A ratio is a very simple tool. I'm going to put you in timeout. I asked for responses that said no. You're going to be in timeout for 1 minute, and if you act up again, I'm going to remove you. Okay, so a ratio is a very simple tool that will definitely, I said it will definitely, help you to better control your life. I'm going to repeat that. A ratio is a very simple tool that will help you. What's funny, Shells? Will help you to better control your life. Will definitely help you. Guaranteed. Because you and you alone control your ratio. You and you alone can adjust, okay, your ratio. Thanks, Nellie. Now, if you set your own ratio, you're the only one that can control it. If you set it too high, you can lower it. If you set it too low, you can raise it. I'm going to explain. My ratio is 80-20. I don't own it. Anybody can use it, can take it. My ratio is 80-20. Some people on my lives have chosen 75-25, 60-40, But I said, you cannot have a positive attitude 100% of the time. You cannot have a negative attitude 100% of the time. That's why you live your life by a ratio. My ratio is 80-20. That means, excuse me, 80% of the time, I am very happy being in the positive attitude mode. 20% of the time, I'm okay being in the negative attitude mode. Okay. Now back over to the positive attitude mode. That means 80-20. 80% of the time, I honor the programs that I write. 80% of the time, I do what is fair, what is right, what is just, what is honest, what is considerate, what is kind, all of those things. That's what I do 80% of the time. 20% of the time, I can be in that negative attitude mode. And when you are in that negative attitude mode, whatever portion you assign to it, You can never include physical abuse. You cannot hit people. You cannot throw things. It cannot include verbal abuse. You cannot cuss anybody out. You cannot insult people. Yeah, 80-20. And that's the beef that I choose too, 80-20. Yeah. And so, and then one of my viewers, her username is Midnight. Share the live, y'all, because I still got a whole lot more time, and I would love for a whole lot more people to hear this advice that I'm sharing with y'all. It's so easy to undifficult your life. A lot of y'all are making choices and decisions that making y'all's lives a lot more difficult than they have to be. So, now where was I? I got to rewind, y'all, or somebody can tell me where I was. Where was I? I told you about you making your lives a lot more difficult, but where was I before I said that? A lot of times I lose track, but 80% of the time, see there I go, 80%. 80% of the time, I was on the third thing. I told y'all the negative portion of your, I remember now, the negative portion of your, thanks Trix, of your ratio. It can never include physical abuse. You cannot hit people. You cannot throw things. It can never include verbal abuse. You cannot cuss people out. You cannot insult people. Yeah, thanks, Nellie. And the third thing, thanks to one of my viewers, her username is Midnight. And she said, she asked me to include tone of voice. And I was happy to include it because, thank you, thanks for the sub. And I was happy to include it because it ain't what you say, it's how you say it, you see? So tone of voice, you cannot use an ugly tone of voice with anybody. So as long as you don't include those three things when you're in your negative mood or negative mode, you're doing all right. You got to have a negative mode though, but you cannot include those three things. You see? So, did that help y'all? Did I explain that from my mind to y'all's mind? Was I effective in explaining that? Come on, give me some responses, y'all. Come on. Was I effective in explaining from my mind to y'all's mind? Thank you, Brando. Good. And subscription is free, y'all. Oh, good, Lucinda. Thank you. Oh, crystal clear. Oh, wonderful, Nellie. Honda Accord, thank you. Rochelle, thank you. Melvin said, well said. Thank you. Gamma Ray, thank you. Tim, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Now, I want to show y'all, this is a helpful hand visual that I'm doing here. A negative attitude. This is a negative attitude. This is you in the form of spirit and inner peace. Here comes a negative attitude, or here you come, okay? Look, it can't get through. Spirit and inner peace cannot get through, so they go away. And I really think that they don't even come to a person who has a negative attitude, so I'm just using it as an example. To show y'all how spirit and inner peace are just knocking, but they can't get through. Now, this is a positive attitude. Positive attitude, y'all. Here is spirit and inner peace. So now you can see what's going to happen. You see? Not only does it get through when you have a positive attitude, they turn and encase your entire being. Oh, wonderful. I'm glad you appreciate the example. Thank you for telling me that. So, yes, you see? Positive attitude. Spirit will only come to you if you have a positive attitude. Inner peace will only come to you if you have a positive attitude. You see? Now, this is you. I already did this, but this is you. And you're just flitting around. This is you in the form of spirit, inner peace. Okay? So, Would you land on a person who has a negative attitude? I don't use the word mindset. Mindset is a weird word. It means a whole lot of things to a whole lot of different people, okay? I use the word attitude. Attitude has a generally accepted meaning. So I don't use that word. Mindset, I think it's terrible because it doesn't mean anything. It means different things to different people. I use the word attitude. Okay. So if this is you, your spirit, your spirit, your inner peace, would you land on a person who has a negative attitude? I sure wouldn't. No, we don't land on the negative. There you go. Positive attitude. It's the only way to be. And here's what you say when you want to, the minute you decide you're going to have a positive attitude, write this program. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. It works. Probably works for, I would say, 80% of the people, maybe 90. It may not work for every single one. I never shoot for 100%. Okay? My thing is 80-20, and I use 80-20 just about for everything in my life. Like somebody said, I even buy the ground beef that's 80-20. 80% fat, 20% lean. No, 20% lean, 80% fat. No, I'm about, Lord, y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't gonna get off in no ground beef. Okay, it's 80% lean, okay. So now, that's a positive attitude. And I'm going to do another helpful hand visual. This is a positive attitude. This is, you are putting out positive, and positive is coming back to you. You are putting out positive, and positive is coming back to you. You are putting out positive, and positive is coming back to you. You see? Life is like a boomerang. I know y'all have heard that before. What you put out is what you get back. Now, I'm only doing this helpful hand visual so that y'all can see the size of the screen. Y'all can only see through the size of the screen. But this, I call it a conveyor belt. This conveyor belt is as big as the universe. Yes. So, it's as big as the universe. Positive attitude is the only way to be. Now, Spirit came to me in the month of June and said, there's such a thing as outer peace. I said, huh? Outer peace? Spirit explained it. Inner peace can never be disturbed. Inner peace can never be destroyed. Outer peace can be disturbed. Outer peace can be destroyed. You see? So, now, inner peace is sewn into the fabric of your soul, into the fabric of your spirit. It can't be disturbed or destroyed. Outer peace is not sewn into your fabric of your soul, your spirit. An example of outer peace is, let's say you are trying to study or sleep. I use this example every live that I do. And somebody is making noises in the same room, in the downstairs or upstairs or across the street or whatever. That is your outer peace. There is even a law on the books. You can call the cops on people who are disturbing the peace, okay? Yeah, it makes sense to me. So it's sewn into your fiber and sewn into the fabric of your soul. Stitched, okay? So you can't, now, like I said, you can call the cops on people who are disturbing your outer peace. So if there are people in your family who are disturbing your peace, I don't do religion, Thomas, get him shelves, put him in time out or something. I'm telling you how to do your job, ain't I? Okay, forgive me. All right, now, if anybody in your family is doing things or saying things that disturb your peace, You are obligated to tell them. That includes your mama if she's doing stuff to to disturb your peace. That's your outer peace, okay? So now you must do it lovingly, you must do it kindly. If anybody in your family, not your mama, I'm gonna get to your mom in a minute, is doing things to disturb your peace, doing or saying, you tell them like this. You have to be kind, you have to be diplomatic. I love y'all dearly, but when y'all do such and such, that disturbs my peace. Or when y'all say such and such, that disturbs my peace. They are not obligated to change their behavior, but you are obligated to tell them. You give them enough time to see if they're going to change their behavior. If they don't, then it gives you the responsibility. Oh, thanks, Jen. You come back and you say, you know, I told y'all I love y'all dearly. But when I told y'all, when y'all say such and such, or when y'all do such and such, that disturbs my peace, y'all are still doing it, y'all are still saying it. So I have no choice. I absolutely must protect my peace. I must protect my peace. So, and then I give y'all 3 options. Option 1, I have to feed y'all with a long handled spoon. Option 2, I have to love y'all from a distance. Share the live, y'all. I've still got at least 30 minutes on here. Still more, at least 30 more minutes, y'all. I have to feed y'all with a long handled spoon. That's option 1. Option 2, I have to love y'all from a distance. And option 3, I have to stop coming around y'all. You see? That's what though you can come up with option 4 if you want, but you must be kind. Now, if it's your mama that's disturbing your peace, doing something or saying something to disturb your peace. Now, remember, y'all, all of this takes place after you write that program. And you write the program, here's what you say. From now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. Mean it from the bottom of your heart and put your feet on the path to do exactly that. Okay, so hold on, I'm rewinding. Yes, your mama. If your mama is all of this takes place after you write that program. From now on, I'm going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. So, doesn't matter if you live together. Look, here's your mama doing things to disturb your peace. Here you are, coming in, getting your peace disturbed. Okay? Now you tell your mama, Mama, I love you dearly. I really and truly do. But when you do such and such, or when you say such and such, that disturbs my peace. Now, some mamas would say, what peace? Or, you ain't got no peace. Okay? That's mama. Leave her alone. When you wrote that program, when you said that out loud, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude, you raised your frequency. You're up here now. You raised your vibration. You see? You are now able to look at the behavior and it doesn't bother you. You raised your vibration. You raised your frequency. You're no longer on that frequency. You see? You're up here. You can look at the behavior of your mother and it doesn't bother you. It's the same thing with anybody that this word is new to me, trigger. Y'all using this word. I'm 81 years old. Nobody triggers me into nothing. Okay? And they shouldn't do that to you either. You give people too much power. You give people too much power. You understand? Don't give anybody that kind of power to trigger you. That makes no sense. That's wonderful, Chloe. That's really great. Glad to hear that. But you always have love and respect for your mama. She brought you here. but you can't allow anybody. And I think that you can tell her, Mama, you gave birth to me. You don't want me to allow anybody to disturb my peace. And that would include you. Wouldn't you think that? Just talk to her like that. You're not being disrespectful. So, and now this is another thing. People talk about narcissism. That's a new word to me. I don't even know. I know when I'm being mistreated. I know when I'm being used. I know when I'm being abused. I know when I'm being disrespected. And if that's what narcissists do, then I don't need to have a title for them, okay? The only way that people can get away with that kind of mess, I cuss like a sailor, y'all. Oh man, do I ever. I love to cuss, but I don't cuss on my lives. So the only way that people can be allowed to get away with that kind of mess is that they are allowed to get away with that kind of mess. They need to be challenged on their own behavior. I would never allow anybody to disrespect me, especially anybody in my family. So you don't let anybody get away with that kind of stuff, disrespecting others and insulting others and being cruel or mean or sometimey to others. Call them on the stuff. Anybody should be able to call anybody on their stuff. I don't care who it is. See, this is one of the things that makes y'all's lives difficult. You separate stuff. You can't separate. It doesn't matter who it is. And I am so thankful for the parents that I had. They raised us. I'm the oldest of 7. And they raised us. It doesn't matter who it is. If it's your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your uncle, your cousins, whomever. It makes no difference who it is. A human being. That's it. Y'all got that? If they are a human being, the shoe fits them, just like the shoe fits you. If you are a human being, the shoe fits all of us. There are no exceptions. Yes, but you must be kind. That's the whole thing. You can't cuss them out because they are disturbing your peace. You can't cuss them out. You must be kind. You must be diplomatic. Take them off to the side. Disarm them. Tell them, I love you, but okay. All right. Lena, I don't do Jesus, so don't do that. You will be removed. Okay? I don't do Jesus. No Jesus or Bible or politics on my lives. I dedicate my lives to the 4 pillars of advice that I share. Now I finished with pillar number 1. Pillar number 1 is develop and maintain a positive attitude. And I told y'all how to do it. You write a program, and that program states, from now on, I am going to be working on developing and maintaining a positive attitude. You literally just wrote what, Shelster? Okay. So that's what you say. Now, pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. If you are 10 years old or older, I tell you exactly how you increase your level of patience. But I always start with the toddlers. Now, if you're raising toddlers, here's how easy it is to, okay. People don't read, I guess. Here's how easy it is to teach them patience. When that toddler asks for a cookie, tell that toddler, I'll give you the cookie in 5 minutes. Put yourself on the timer. Give that toddler that cookie in 5 minutes. Do that several times at 5 minutes. Then stretch it to 10 minutes. Still with the timer. Do that several times at 10 minutes. Stretch it all the way up, 5-minute increments, to an hour or more. Not only will you be teaching that toddler patience, you will also be teaching that toddler how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. Now, Spirit came to me and told me, Joyce, you can tell your viewers how they can teach themselves how to feel time, how to feel elapsed time. Oh, thanks, Andrew. And now you need a piece of paper and something to write with. So I'm going to count to 10 while I drink some tea. and give y'all time to get it together, and then I'll tell you what it's a fun, short, cute little exercise. Here you go. Excuse me. Okay, now, you got the paper? Write down the present time, wherever your time zone is, doesn't matter. Oh, let us know, Andrew, if not if, it will work. So write down the present time, wherever your time zone is, or whatever your time zone is, and then put the paper away. And sometime later, doesn't matter if it's 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, a half an hour, whatever. Try to guess what the present time is. All right, now do that several times each and every day. I do it all day long, and I don't have to use a paper and pencil because you won't have to do it either. You won't have to use it. Do it all day long. It will train you it will zero you in on the movement of time. You see? That's exactly what it will do. And if there's anybody on here on my live that has done this, you can use a comment that you've done it and it works. So you're doing it and it works, or whatever. So doesn't matter, whatever time it is, just write it down. So you will get to the point where you will be able to feel what time it is. And then when you wake up, before the alarm goes off, try to guess what time it is. Try to zoom in on the passage of time. You'll get closer and closer. Yeah, see, it works. Uh-huh. Thank you, Gamma Ray. It really does work. Uh-huh. Oh, wait, I'm gonna get a screenshot of that. Pap reads, I read the screenshots to Pap when he wakes up. So now, you can teach yourself. That's how you, and I also recommend this book. Hold on, I gotta find it here. There they are. I recommend this book, Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids. I had it translated into Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. It's Madre Docena, I can say that, Madre Docena, but I don't speak Spanish. So here is Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids. It's 48 pages, and it's $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. The link is in my profile, goodshortbooks.com. This book will guide you into raising kids that you can admire. Oh yeah, I know, because it's I can't invert it on a live, but I can invert it when I do videos. So on my TikTok and here on my YouTube, they are not backwards. Okay, so but this is just so you can see the picture, okay, of what the book cover looks like. And this is 48 pages and it's $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. This book will guide you into raising kids that you can admire. And wonderful. Oh, thank you. I got to do a screenshot. Okay. So I talk about this book when I talk about pillar number 2, increase your own level of patience, increase your level of patience. So this is Mother's Dozen, that's 12. An easy recipe. Recipe says that there are ingredients. So here are the 12 ingredients. Here they are. And the last ingredient is patience. That's why I talk about patience and I show this book. This is the last ingredient. All right, so now, if you're 10 years old or older, the way you teach yourself patience is you write a program and you say it out loud. You say all your programs out loud. Here's what you say. I am teaching myself patience. I am increasing my level of patience. I am teaching myself how to wait. You see? Okay. That's what you say. Now, especially if it's something that you are fiending for, especially if it's something that you normally would give yourself immediate gratification for. Make yourself wait. And if you make yourself wait past the point where you don't want it anymore, that's a fabulous thing to have happen to you because it tells you that you are in control. You always were, but you took control of yourself. And you see, make yourself wait. That's all you got to do. And you will be teaching yourself patience. You will absolutely love being patient. It pays dividends to be patient. That's pillar number 2. Increase your level of patience. Now, I told you how you do it. If you're 10 years old or older, I told you exactly how you do that. And I told you how to teach patience to toddlers. Okay? Now, I wrote this book for people who are raising kids from like 2 to 4 years old. But one of my viewers, her username is Cat724. She said she bought it and read it, and she said it's good to turn kids around up to the age of 7 or 8. I said, okay, if that's what you say, that's fine with me. So if you're raising toddlers that are not going in the direction that you want them to go in, and it's your fault, they don't raise themselves, this book will guide you into turning them around. It calls for a whole lot of patience and steadfastness on your part, the parent's part, so it can be done. The parent's job is to develop a human being into a person that will be an asset to the world, not a liability, an asset to the world. And I've seen people on social media that don't have limbs, that are assets to the world. They could feel sorry for themselves, but they don't. So increase your level of patience and. So now I'm going to go to pillar number 3 because I'm running out of time. It's 5:17. Pillar number 3 is stay calm. Stay calm. You have tremendous power in your ability to stay calm. Hey, Australia. So stay calm. I know you want to be powerful. Stay calm. You lose your power when you become angry, irritated, all of that stuff. Okay? Stay calm. Power. Okay? Now, I'm going to do a helpful hand visual that when I did it it was this year that the first time I did it. I told y'all, Spirit gives me all these helpful hand visuals. And so when I did it in my live, it blew a lot of my viewers' minds. And when I did it for Pap, it blew his mind. And it blows my mind too. But I'm kind of used to it when Spirit gives me these things. I know that they're good. So now, stay calm. I was talking about, and Spirit came to me and told me in this live, in one of the TikTok lives that I did this year, told me to use the word neurons. I had never, ever used the word neurons before in any of my lives. But I used the word neurons, and I was talking about, now I know neurons are a part of your brain. And so I was talking about being calm or staying calm as opposed to becoming angry. So here is what your neurons do. Oh, thank you, Honda Accord. Thank you. I'm going to do a screenshot of that. Okay, here's what your neurons do when you're calm. They travel through your brain. They're communicating with each other. They're doing a lot of good stuff for you. Okay? And this is a helpful hand visual. Spirit gave me this one. This is when you're calm, as opposed to when you are angry. Look, here, Spirit gave me this one. When you're angry, this is what your neurons are doing, y'all. Ooh, wee. This is what your neurons are doing, as opposed to this. And I'm only doing this as an example so that y'all can visualize what happens. So now, Spirit gave me those helpful hand visuals during my lives, which was between 4 and 5:15 a.m. Later that night, around 7 or 8 p.m., y'all, here's my hand. Honest to goodness, Spirit came back to me. Share the live, y'all. I still got a few more minutes on here. Spirit came back to me and told me to look up what neurons do. Honestly, I was blown away that the Spirit came back to me and told me to do that. I was really blown away. And I know it's probably blowing some of y'all's minds too. I obeyed. I Googled it. Here's what Google said. Neurons work together to produce memories, make decisions, and compute information. They take chemical signals, transport them, and form new wiring within the brain. Neurons also help different parts of the brain to communicate with each other. That's what your neurons do. That's why you can't think straight when you're angry or aggravated. That's why you can't make good decisions when you're angry. That's why you can't make good choices when you're angry. You say a lot of things that you don't mean when you're angry. You do a lot of things that you don't mean when you're angry. So stop with the anger. I have a post on my TikTok. I don't know if I have it on my YouTube, but I still post to TikTok. I have almost 54,000 followers on TikTok. So I still post to TikTok, and I'm still getting followers. And the post says, be kind. Anger serves no useful purpose. You understand that? Be kind. Anger doesn't serve any useful purpose. Why get angry? You lose your power when you become angry. So the next time you are starting to become angry, think about your neurons. You want them to be doing this. You want them to be flowing smoothly and calmly, not this. This is what your neurons are doing when you are angry, upset, all of that stuff. I never get angry, y'all. Never get angry. I keep my power. Always. I get pissed off momentarily, but I never, ever, never get angry. I never saw either one of my parents get angry, and I was 78 years old before I realized that. Okay? I was 78 years old. I'm 81 now. That's just 3 years ago. And I didn't realize that I never saw either one of my parents angry. They didn't model it. I'm the oldest of 7, and none of us get angry like that. We don't know what it looks like because we didn't see it as we were growing up. And in our whole extended family, we didn't see that. We didn't see anger like that. People maintain control over themselves, you see? So don't do no Bible stuff here on my live. You will be either put in timeout or removed. So for all of you who do that Bible stuff and Jesus stuff, not on this live. Politics or religion, they don't go, not here. I do things that are useful and practical, and that's me. That's you. Whatever you want to do, that's fine. Whatever you want your religion to be, that's great. But no religion, no politics. So that's pillar number 3. Stay calm. You got to remember there's tremendous power in your ability to stay calm. You see? So that's pillar number 3. Now, the last pillar, pillar number 4, is remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, frustration, anger, all of that. Somebody says, explain the difference between pissed and anger. Anger is over the top. You lose control. You can be pissed off and you can still be calm. You still, you're not out of control. You don't lose your temper. That's a big difference. So I hope I explained that sufficiently. And a lot of other people may have had that same question. That's why I answered it. Kindly explain difference between pissed and angry and anger. Okay. All right. Did I explain that sufficiently? Oh, yeah. Thanks. Okay. You're welcome, Nellie. So, yeah. So don't get over the top angry. You're just to the point where you're like, oh, you're just so full of, don't get like that. A lot of people do. Okay. So now, that is, okay. Remember the fourth pillar. Remember the 4 words that can immediately lower your stress, anxiety, panic, anger, frustration, or any ugliness that is inside of you. Those 4 words are, this too shall pass. This too shall pass, y'all. This too shall pass. 4 words. Nothing in this life is permanent. No situation is permanent. No situation will last. No scenario is permanent. No scenario will last. We even use the word pass when we're talking about death. We'll say, he passed last week. She passed yesterday. So nothing in this life lasts forever. The next time you are getting chewed out by your mama, the next time you are getting chewed out by your daddy, remember that they cannot read your mind. So stand there or sit there and be getting chewed out and think these words. This too shall pass. She ain't gonna be fussing at me forever. Or this too shall pass. He ain't gonna be fussing at me forever. You see? Those words will carry you through most of the ugliness that is gonna come into your life. It will pass. I promise you, it will pass. It may not pass as soon as you want it to, but it will pass. That's where patience come into play, you see? That's where patience comes into play, you see? So all of these 4 pillars, y'all, they work together. They're interconnected. The first pillar, develop and maintain a positive attitude. That's the first pillar. And I told y'all how to do that. The second pillar, increase your level of patience. If you're 10 years old or older, I told you exactly how you do that, but I told you how to teach patience to a toddler. And I also recommended this book, Mother's Dozen, an easy recipe for raising great kids. Okay? It's 48 pages. It's $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. Okay? This book will guide you into raising kids that you can admire. Okay, so now I normally don't read the long comments like that because I don't have time. I hardly have time in the 90 minutes to share the advice that I have to share with y'all. If I read all of these comments, do y'all think that I would have time to share all the advice? No, I would not. So don't write all these long comments. I do stop once in a while to read some, but for the most part, I'm not going to read them. They take too much of my time, and my time is devoted to the 4 pillars that I share, the 4 pillars of advice that I share. So I ask y'all, I say, I want to know if y'all saw that these 4 pillars are interconnected. When you develop and maintain a positive attitude, it will lead you into wanting to increase your level of patience. You will want to gather all these positive things about you, you see? Then that's pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. Pillar number 3, stay calm. You will want to stay calm because it will enhance your positive attitude. Calmness is a part of being a positive person, positive attitude person. And then pillar number 4, remember, thanks Tim, the 4 words, this too shall pass. They will get you through just about any ugly situation that you run into if you remember to say them. Stay calm. So all of these pillars are interconnected. So that is the way you develop and maintain a positive attitude. That is the way you increase your level of patience. That is the way you stay calm. And that is the way you remember the 4 words that can get you through just about anything peacefully. Okay? Now, if y'all enjoyed this live, if you got something out of it, you can do a video or a post telling people what you got out of the live. If you've read any of the books at goodshortbooks.com, and I'm going to read y'all the genres at goodshortbooks.com. If you have read any of them, you can do a book review, a post, or a video, and tag me. So here are the genres, 11 nonfiction books there, y'all, in 9 different genres. And books make wonderful gifts. Anytime gifts is what I say. Anytime gifts. Memoirs, parenting, relationships, children's education, fairy tales, bullying, original quotes, health, and spirituality. Oh, good. Thank you. So now I'm going to be closing my live, and I always close it down with this book, My Simple Quotes to Live By. It's 90 pages. It's 167 quotes that I coined. And it's $7.99 at goodshortbooks.com. The link is in my profile. I coined my first quote when I was 15 years old. And that quote states, never lose your hope and faith. Never lose your hope and faith. I coined this, my first quote, in 1959 at the age of 15. The occasion was my middle school graduation from Detroit's Girard Junior High School. 9th graders were asked to document their message to their fellow classmates. And that's what I said. I don't remember saying it, and I didn't know that I was coining a quote. Now I'm going to read y'all a quote that I coined. I do remember saying it, and I did know that I was coining a quote. So it was for a quote contest. This was in 2011 or 2013. I coined this quote. It was for a calendar, so they needed 12 quotes. Oh, yeah, they're very affordable. 3 price categories, $7.99, $9.99, and $12.99. That's the most expensive book we have. And they're all good and lasting gifts. So I coined this quote. It was for a contest. It was for a calendar, so they needed 12 quotes. And I coined it and submitted it to the contest. It won as one of 12 quotes out of over 5,000 entries. Oh, yeah, Shells. Shells loves this book. So now here's the quote. I'm going to, I posted to social media to encourage people to chase their dreams. So here is the quote that I coined. It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream. I'm going to repeat it. It's better to die chasing a dream never caught than to die never having chased the dream. Chase your dreams, people. Nobody can see your dream as clearly as you can, and you can't see anybody else's dream as clearly as they can. So don't allow anybody to poo-poo your dream, and don't you poo-poo anybody else's, but do chase your dreams. Now, this book It's formatted. It's 90 pages. It's 2 quotes per page. And the quotes are in all caps, separated by a black and white picture. Okay? Now this is, it's a 90-page book, like I said. This is what's on page 90, the end. Okay? So I'm going to open the floor. I want y'all to shout out page numbers, and I'll read the 2 quotes on that page. The quote, "It's better to die chasing a dream never caught," that's on page 11. Okay, so now, pages 6 to 89, y'all can put out some page numbers, and I'll read the 2 quotes on the page to give y'all a taste of what these quotes are all about. Give me some page numbers, y'all. In the meantime, if y'all enjoyed this live, do a video and tag me, or a post and tag me, and tell people what you got out of the live. Okay, page 45 for Nellie. 45 for Nellie. At the top of page 45, live your life from a place of love, fairness, and truth. At the bottom of page 45, anger and hate are the food of the devil. Don't feed him. Can y'all live by those quotes? Page 77 for Stacy. 77 for Stacy. At the top of page 77, truth and honesty free your soul, so stop lying. At the bottom of page 77, family is the root of the tree of life. Okay, page 50 for Honda Accord. At the top of page 50, love is truth. At the bottom of page 50, don't carry a grudge. The load will wear you down. Can y'all live by those quotes? Page 31 and 13 for Alan. 31, and then I'll get to 13. Okay. 31, at the top of page 31, work to create the family you want. Start with the young. At the bottom of page 31, you can't hide from yourself. Wherever you go, there you are. Can y'all live by those quotes? Page 8 is going to be the last one I'm going to read. Now I'm going to read page 13 for Alan. At the top of page 13, if you were on your deathbed, what would you wish you had or had not done? Do it or stop it now. At the bottom of page 13, your words can be like rose petals or razor blades. Can you live by those quotes? I love you too. Now, the last one I'm going to read is page 8 for Olubi. I think I'm saying it right. I think, page 8 at the top. Oh, I don't do any teaching from the Bible. Page 8 at the top. Teachers should have the highest pay because they teach us all. At the bottom of page 8, count your blessings. Millions of people would love to trade their problems for yours. Okay? My simple quotes to live by. Can y'all live by the quotes that I read? This book is available at goodshortbooks.com. 90 pages, $7.99. So thank y'all for joining my live. I appreciate it very much, and make it a great weekend. I don't say have a great weekend, have a great anything. I say make it, okay? So, oh yeah, I've had trolls apologize to me before, so I don't know if you were trolling me or not, but yes, so use the advice that I share. The 4 pillars: develop and maintain a positive attitude. Pillar number 1. Pillar number 2, increase your level of patience. Pillar number 3, stay calm. And pillar number 4, remember, this too shall pass. Make it a great weekend, y'all, and utilize the 4 pillars of advice. Come back on Monday and let us know that you're using the advice that I share. Hope it makes a difference in your life. If you use it, it will. Okay. Thanks, y'all. Later.